So this is just north of Governor on the Messina line. Went to the, I guess it's the Crown City Model Railroad Club meeting today. Kind of had an eclectic group of people and, running things, and I think fun was had by all. There was a couple of presentations going on. There was a lady with a bunch of slides from downstate, railroad history, and looked to be, down where by the Kingston area of New York, some of the trains that were down there in the 70s and before, all the way back into the steam era. So that was pretty cool. Another couple of guys did a presentation on painting and weathering and basically getting things more realistic. And one of the fellows, basically his life was auto body work, so he was pretty understanding of the whole paint thing. And a couple of guys were trying to sell stuff, and a couple of guys bought pretty much the standard mix. One of the things I saw that was interesting was the K-line version of this. One of the fellows had one of those, and I didn't know what the difference would be, because it looked to me like when you look at the catalogs, they're pretty much the same. But they are not. They're very much different. The K-line was a little smaller, which I find interesting, because I consider this O27. A little more narrow in the body, and the tender was quite a bit smaller. So they are not based on the same, die castings and the like. They're completely different. But what I'll do is I'll stick together a little bit of video and put together sort of a summary of the day. Had some rail fan time yesterday and model railroad stuff today. And hopefully folks will have some fun. I think the idea of the club for me is to try to get people in who want to run things. In my humble opinion. A lot of people want to sit and be entertained with presentations and stuff. But unless you get people who are actively engaged with the running of trains, that hobby doesn't grow. Be the same old guys doing the same old thing. So kind of hoping we can have enough run time where it's interesting for people to come in, either watch or even decide to participate, because there's a lot of ways of participating in that. Everything from low cost entry sets that are available to just buying an engine and coming to the club meets and running it there. If you don't have a layout, just trying to get people to engage. That's the definition of win. And of course, there'll be those who see that as an opportunity to try to sell things. I guess I don't have a problem with that conceptually. And hey, if the selling of some of these things that people bring is a way for folks to engage either at a low level or a higher level, because there were some pretty sophisticated trains there. Of course, the store has some as well. Doesn't matter to me as long as we get people taking trains and putting power to them and having them go around in circles, going nowhere fast, and having fun doing it. Smiles. That's the definition of win for me. So anyway, I'll put together a video. Now we're going to have a club meeting today, so I figured I'd bring some stuff to run. Hopefully somebody brings more than I've got. And we want to hang the wire. I've got a bunch of wire hangers that I want to tie that Romex up with. And that would be the goal. Got the tools to do it. So I want to see if I can pull those passenger cars with that old Lionel right there.
One of those that's super, really nicely detailed, but just trying to move different directions with the type of control I'm doing my layout. So analog stuff's usually gone.
Didn't you have a K line in here the other day?
Yeah, that Hudson.
The only analog engines that I'm really keeping are those with like specific sentimental value.
Dad, look how much.
Don't skip.
I've got a couple of those. I've got a couple. I can bring one of those in for you.
You gonna put something else on?
And I can run.
You gonna put that on?
Ari.
So I took you had done
sorry.
several days to day service station,
Yes.
and
Kids
I
leaving their stuff all over the
converted
place. They know what they're doing.
Anything else that you could... Any more random around here?
Those two flat cars. I think this goes with your zombie.
So this is 1 to 58.
Okay. Ready? Oh, look at that. That's nice. Yeah, I've got one of the MTHs. Of course, the reason why it's of interest is because it's small enough to get on O27. That thing will go around these corners, no problem. Yeah, I got exactly that in MTH. And I did one of the 2882s with one of those Bluetooth hats.
Oh, nice.
That runs good, Kyle. You want to put his Chesapeake on? This is one that's got two horizontal can motors. Lionel did that for a bunch of years. Runs good.
Yeah.
Makes the right kind of noises. Here, I'll run the camera. You can run that. Just this corner right here.
I think because we went too far down. Down.
Back them out, maybe.
Yeah, secure it down. Yeah.
Well, my layout is in absolute chaos right now. Stubbed in a switch and another one. So basically, it'll turn the train around once. But in the process, had to rip up off a lot of the track, put it back down. Of course, I have all the spare track all ripped out. I'm going to have to rewire that back section right there. So anyway, so today's been a lot of train, and getting to run the locomotives, the bigger ones down there at the club was kind of a change of pace. Kind of nice. Hopefully more people will come and indulge. Oh, I did get one car in the mail. Let me see if I can get to it. That one. That's a Lionel. It has the die-cast sprung trucks, the Lionel iteration, and of course here is the MTH for comparison. The MTH has got more detail on the bottom of the car. Let's see if I can demonstrate that without completely destroying everything. And the Lionel just has all steel down there. It's just no detail. But trucks are nice. And it's orange. Well, this will be cool. Hear the Amtrak still blowing the horn as he's going through Syracuse. Now we're looking west again at CP 286. Amtrak just went through in the intermodal you see down there. It was pulled up on the siding, and it looks like he's coming this way. So we'll get a chance to see him accelerate past us. Probably GE horsepower. And after this train, I believe there was one more coming west. I heard him way out at milepost 262. But I haven't heard him. Oh, hang on. Oh, here he is, right here. a surprise.